You know what sound that is, folks. You betcha. It's time for another Elkworks Noon Whistle. I'm Chris Trottier.
And I'm John Anzalone. And Chris, you wouldn't believe who we're with today.
Who do we have, John?
We have Seth Hansen and Emily Crockless from Heritage Beam and Board. Yeah, excited to have them. They do some amazing work, super creative things, and this is going to be a lot of fun. How you guys doing?
Great. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no, exciting to have you and all you do. And probably 15, 20 minutes isn't enough time to tell us all the amazing things you do, but maybe introduce yourselves to everybody that's out there.
I'm Seth Hansen, 50-50 partners here with Emily Crockless.
This is me.
Yeah. So design, more of the design side and more of the build side. Together we run and guide and direct our awesome team of carpenters and finishers and all those things.
And all the things that
Yeah. So we stock old growth reclaimed wood and salvage pieces, and we take those things and we create it into something different and make amazing parts and pieces for custom pieces for.
You might have seen our big American flag as you drive towards Burlington
on Highway 11. Yep.
Yeah, and you guys, that's probably a humble way to describe yourselves and what you do, because you reclaim things, but it's amazing the things that you do, that you make, that you visuals and, tables, chairs. I mean, it could go on and on. It can be anything that what you do. Like, it's art. You guys do art.
Thank you. It's a team. It's a team. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun because we have the privilege of somebody's idea being the caretakers of somebody's idea. And we get to pair that with these awesome materials and create something awesome.
How did you start this?
Yeah, I was going to ask. That's a great question.
It was a kind of a side thing at first. Needed some barn wood for a home project that her husband Adam that started the business with me. The two of us started it, and Ashley was right there helping guide and direct and come up with the logo and the name, and we together started doing sales, barn sales stuff. And so it became from a side venture. It became busier and busier. We had to decide if we're going to do it full time and quit our jobs or not, and we went for it. So
yeah, and at that time, my husband Adam grew up in Elkhorn. His family is entirely from Elkhorn. 94 years old, across the street. But he was living down in Hampshire, North, and I was driving back and forth to here so that we could get this going when we made that choice to make it full time.
And when did you make the transition? Sorry, Chris.
No, go ahead. You're good.
This is our 13th year in business. And for the first couple years, it was kind of a side thing. And then it's
About
been 10 years ago since Emily and I became partners and have been running things together. So, and it was quite a thing to come from just our the energy that she and I could bring to it, to actually hire a carpenter, our first employee, and now we're a team of 10. So small business, but that's where we're at now.
And it really started from here, take this board and the business.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
One board at a time.
One board at a time.
Really,
one sliver at a time.
Yeah.
So,
but a lot of energy to that.
So talk about some examples of projects that you guys have done. And I know that before, when we were starting this, you guys were kind of walking around that space. If feel free to do that. But before we kind of show the viewers, talk a little bit about like specific projects that you do, because you're not really building a whole house.
Right. We're bringing splash of elements of thoughtful design to a space, whether it's a home or a business, a bar, a restaurant. We're doing rafters, we're doing flooring, we're doing bars, tables, built-ins, things like that.
Yeah, what we were talking about, so our tagline for our business is "We continue the story," and the privilege of that is that the old growth materials are only found in these old buildings. They've come from up north. They were logged up north 100, 200 years ago, and and then they've lived in these buildings for over 100+ years, and now we have them. They're the tight grain, old growth materials, and we can still take advantage of those and create something new and fresh. And so one of the immediately to mind when you asked was this retirement home that we did a couple years ago. It was a really cool thing because Wisconsin is known as the dairy state, obviously, but all these dairy farms are starting to fall down, and they're no longer the same purpose that they don't have the same purpose they used to have. So a very cool thing that we've been able to do was put that material in a retirement home where it like emoted all the nostalgia of the people that were retiring there, of their youth and childhood. It was a cool connection. So we did that a couple years ago. We do stuff like this all the time, but that's one that popped into my head.
Yeah, we did a bunch of beams in there. So you walk in this big grand entrance, and it feels like you're maybe in a barn with all these barn vents that are big and dramatic, and then the staircase, handrails, that kind of thing. So it's fun. Yeah.
Can I, if I brought wood to you, like, hey, I got this trailer full of wood. Here's what I would like to create with it, or like you to create with it. Can we do that? Is that possible?
So we do take in other people's wood, depending on what it is. We'll take a look at it and see if it's a good fit or not. And then if it is, then we can take it in. We have a kiln. We have a 40-foot by 20-foot kiln at our main shop on Highway 11 there. And we kiln dry to treat for bugs, to make sure there's no bugs in it. So we'll shut down this big room full of wood, and we'll get it up to 135 degrees. We'll circulate the air, and we'll treat it to make sure there's no problem with it. Then we'll take it and put it in, and we'll bring it to the shop and take it from there.
Is that the process you guys go about acquiring the wood, or do you have to go out and purchase it? Do you have to keep an eye on like available sales, or, hey, there's a barn falling down, I'm going to go knock on their door? I know that sounds silly, but really the acquisition process, I'm curious about that.
It's a mix. So we have a lot of people contact us about barns, and if you're interested in having us look at your barn, it's pictures, and we get contacted regularly. But there's also people involved in demo that give us a call if they've got a cool old structure, building a factory, and then we go.
So we got a comment from a fellow Rotarian, John Henderson, about how wide an area are you covering now? Like, what's the scope of your projects, and how wide do they go?
So geographically, we would cover a lot of our wood comes from all around the Midwest. Most of it comes from Wisconsin and Illinois, but we'll play matchmaker with people that we know in different areas. If it's an old building or an old factory in Detroit or Columbus, Ohio, or whatever it is, we'll try and figure out who we know that can take care of that, and we may end up being the end purchaser of the materials then. But then as far as our installs, we go wherever people want us to go. So we've been to Florida, we've been to Marco Island and done installs there. We've driven a truck down full of things, and then had crews go down there and do the install, depending on what you need us to do. And if you can afford to pay for us to go ahead and take care of it to the level we want to take care of it for you, then we'll go wherever the job needs us to,
So if I think it would be cool to have a certain beam or a certain look in my house, or a wall, or maybe a barn style door, slider door, you'll to the house and you'll do that. You'll go, oh yeah, we could make that work.
Typically how it starts is that somebody who's interested in a project will call our office or email us, and we'll set up an appointment based on what you're looking for. Certain projects, we'd like to start with a meeting in our showroom. And if we can come up with a budget estimate or pricing in our showroom, then we submit that to you prior to coming out to your house. If the project requires more design up front, then we have that route that takes us, like, let's engage in a design deposit where we can take the time and come up with actually what we want, render all those details before we know what to price. And then there's the raw material side, where you can make an appointment with a material specialist and meet at our warehouse and take raw materials to make your own project.
So you'll adapt to pretty much anything.
Yeah,
for the most part. Over at our main warehouse, we're not hoarders of wood, but we have got a lot of wood. We've got a lot of wood. So we've got all different
wood is good
that come from all the old and
Yeah.
factories, and then we also cut live edge. So we do cut new logs, and we can make tables out of white oak logs and make whatever you need. But then we'll design it, we'll draw it, and render it, and make sure that we're approving on what we're going to make. Talk through finishes, color selection, all those things, character.
Yeah, it's all very cool. It's very fun when we get plans from builders and designers and we work through the whole process. We've got a project right now with 3 siblings and a mother going on out to Geneva.
All different houses.
So all different houses, and we have a presence in each different house with a different variation, beams, mantles, bar, all sorts of things.
Yep.
So ceiling cladding, custom colored ceiling cladding. We're doing like this very cool, it's like a teal blue ceiling in a sunroom. So to be revealed on our Instagram and website.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So how do people get a hold of you? Where are you located? Would you rather people email, call? What's the best way?
Best way to get a hold of us is if you go to our website at heritagebeamandboard.com. That basically runs you through what you need to do depending on what your desires are. So if you're looking for materials and you want to look through and you want to purchase raw materials, it shows you how to do that. If you want to set up an appointment to come in and talk about your project and figure out his design and go from there and make a custom dining table or conference table or a bar or doors or flooring, whatever it is.
Custom record shelving unit for your favorite pieces. And we've done all sorts of stuff like that.
Fun
Super
stuff.
Custom.
The website's the best.
Okay.
John, did you know this? At our first youth build house, we had our students visit Heritage Beam and Board, and they gave us a piece of material that we put as a stairway cap in the house that was sold to a family who couldn't qualify for an affordable home.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Super
We're
cool.
excited.
That'll live in kind of, yeah.
We love supporting local. We love being local and doing and representing Wisconsin and Elkhorn and Walworth County. And it's special to us to pay attention to what we have and what we do with it and make sure we do our best and make things that are going to last. And so whatever way we can help support the building trades, carpenters, metal workers, all those things. There's such a need for people to take themselves seriously and get into a trade and learn your craft and do it to your best. And you can do really well in life. And it's pretty great.
Well, I can tell you that piece was a focal point in that home when we opened it up and showed tours. So thank you for your donation, and the kids love coming over there to see you. What do you think? Are you guys willing to kind of show us that space a little bit and go for a little tour? What do you think,
Ready?
John?
Yeah, no, I think that's a great idea. And while they're walking in there.
Why don't you come along?
All right, there we go.
Barn where we would meet for an appointment. All right.
Nice.
This is the first step to your own show, like, Maine Cabin Masters or something like that. So
we have talked about mantle. Again, the thing. Different dimensions, styles, colors, finishes, some of the things that we talk about in an appointment. Level of character on a table, different styles, bases, finishes, shapes, barn doors.
yeah, I love those.
You can tell this is live. I mean, this is live.
So good. Yeah.
See how good Seth is on the camera.
On stage.
Oh.
Hey, take it
Look
away,
at
huh?
About me. Let's see here.
That's cool.
Yeah, and this is where we made the joke about Seth climbing up the rafters. It has been done.
Oh yeah.
So
And
this is
also-
the folklore of Seth being in the beams, huh?
He likes
Yeah.
to climb stuff.
yeah. I do like to climb things.
So this is one of our favorite style pieces. It's called the Scandinavian, and it's a big, thick 3-inch tabletop. This is a classic heritage piece.
Yep.
Where did you find that at?
We made that.
We make that. We make all
that.
these
Okay, got
pieces.
it. Yep. Okay. Got it.
How much does that weigh?
It's heavy.
That one,
looks
well,
heavy.
none of our stuff is super light. But we deliver, so don't worry about it. But it's probably 300 pounds or so.
It's not a Kia, John Anzalone. It's not a Kia.
Amen and hallelujah.
This is an example.
Yeah, no,
of a
yeah,
bar
absolutely.
that, this is a very cool material that we love to feature. It's our Milwaukee lumber. Comes from a factory downtown Milwaukee called Vilter Manufacturing, and it was responsible for the refrigeration of the breweries, like Pabst, Schlitz, Flats. So we like to make bar tops out of it, among other things.
That's super cool. Super cool.
Yeah. So we
that's
definitely
awesome.
like to attach history whenever we can to the materials. It just deepens the experience and what we're calling. So.
That's
We go downstairs.
You guys do some amazing stuff.
Take you real quick downstairs. Hopefully it's not
boy.
gonna make.
All right.
Here we go. John, you're not getting seasick, are you?
A little bit.
Are
I
ya?
took Dramamine before the show, knowing that we were going to do
You
this.
usually do. You get so nervous.
We're back. We're downstairs in the old dairy bar, which serves as our showroom.
And is that by Emily? Is that by appointment only?
It is. If you came
Okay.
here without us, no one here, and you might feel a little funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I want to make an appointment because I would
Yeah, me
love
too.
to, stop out and look around. And
Well, I think it gave a really good snapshot into kind of what it could look like. I mean, obviously we're on the move, so yeah, that's great. That's an amazing space.
right.
And you know what?
All right.
This is I give you guys credit. This is a noon whistle first.
All
this
right.
is the first tour
Sorry
we've
about-
had.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look at that. That's great. Now we return to normal. Look at that. Look at that. That's awesome.
Hey.
Well, we really appreciate you being on. There you go. Hey, it was great. Everybody got a great insight, and you could see it a little blurry, but it captured the essence of what you guys do, and really showed your talents and skills. And what an amazing business, and amazing space. And God, thank you for all you do. It's awesome.
Yeah. You're Walworth County
Thank you so
gem.
much for.
You are, yeah. So it's about that time we went over because it was well worth it and was well worth the tour. But we always like to close with some thank yous and shout outs. I guess we'll start, Seth or Emily, kind of who do you want to thank or shout out to? And we'll circle around to John and I.
We would like to say thanks to our team, honestly, our heritage team, because each person that works for us is just essential, and we're really thankful for each and every one of them. And then all the customers that have helped support us over the years to make this thing happen. We're just so thankful.
Awesome. John, who do you got?
You know, I'm going to kick it back to a personal one. I don't think I've ever done a personal one, but I am just going to thank all my friends and family. Like, Thanksgiving was wonderful. It's my favorite time of the year where everybody just gets together, talks, hangs out, laughs, does fires, things like that. So, thank you to my family and friends for, being there.
I'm going to give a
That's
shout
awesome.
out to my mother. It was her, I think, 72nd birthday yesterday. So we got to thank your mom and give her a little acknowledgement for raising me and me being a pain probably in her side to this day. But thanks, Mom. Love you. And on that note, Seth and Emily, thanks for being on the
Thank you,
#1
guys.
podcast in Walworth County. John, unique as always, but I think we got to go back to work. Let's listen for that horn. And thanks
All
for
right.
being on there.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.